Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a movie I found very entertaining to watch and was absolutely brutal in its depths. But beyond the Scarlet Witch annihilating everything in her path, this movie is a continuation of the big theme from the first Doctor Strange movie. That is, the attempt to define the line between good and evil and the consequences of walking the line between them. As in our world, morals are complicated and difficult to define in the Marvel Universe. But this movie shows 5 different ways to define them, with the pros and cons for each of them. 1. Law. In this movie, these are the rules and regulations usually voted in and managed by higher authorities. The Sorcerer Supremes ban certain types of magic, and the Illuminati votes on how to deal with complicated issues. As clearly shown in this movie, one of the greatest flaws of this is that the rules change depending on where you live. Sometimes you go on red and stop on green. Also, people are flawed and can often disagree with the best way to do things. The Illuminati was unable to decide what to do with Doctor Strange, and this led to one person taking the law into his own hands and nearly dooming the multiverse because of it. Still, laws create order. When done right, they protect the rights of people and allow events to occur in more orderly fashions. It allows people to work towards their dreams without harming others to do so. Laws are needed or else car crashes will occur. It is just important to choose the right laws and the right people to make those laws a reality. 2. Love. In the Marvel Universe, nothing is more powerful than love. One of the things I noticed about the multiverse is that love relationships tended not to change from realm to realm, showing just how strongly the Marvel Universe values this emotion. Yet, love can blind people, make you miss the faults in others, and fail to see when someone is doing harm to you. Wanda very much loves her children. In her eyes, she was acting in love trying to get her sons back, but that love blinded her to the harm she was doing to others and the destruction she was causing to the different worlds and to the children she claimed to love. But when love isn't an emotion being acted on, but instead a daily choice to do the best for those you interact with, it can bring harmony. America decided to give Wanda what she wanted, access to her children, and by doing so showed how Wanda was harming them by her actions and ultimately harming herself. Strange let Christina marry someone else because he knows that is what will make her happy, and letting love define your morals means sacrificing for others' happiness. It's by far one of the hardest moral paths to live on, but this movie shows how valuable walking that path can be. 3. Protection. Defend those who can't defend themselves. If someone is being attacked, protect them. This is a morality that shows that every life is valuable and that no cost is too high to protect them. And yet, is one life worth that of 100? Was America's life worth that of so many Sanctum members of the entire Illuminati? This is a morality in which mistakes are easy as it's very in the moment. In the moment, you see someone being hurt and you defend them, sometimes hurting others to achieve your goal, or failing to help someone else in need as you focus on that one person. The Sanctum and Illuminati agreed to defend America, but the people of the New York cities being attacked did not. Despite all this, our instinct to protect is the first sign of a person's morality and isn't something we should fight against. Instead, it's something we should train, remembering to let logic have a say even when our emotions are aggravated. Killing the Octo-Demon and saving America was Strange's first protective impulse, and one that showed his instinctual morality was on the good side. 4. Nature. Like laws, natures are rules and regulations, but these are not defined by people, but instead by the world itself. In the Marvel Universe, sorcery is seen as working within the laws of nature, while the Darkhold is seen as corrupting and destroying it, and therefore something that should not be touched. The most difficult part about following the rules of nature is knowing them. The sorcerers, especially Strange, often walk near the line, often seeming to cross it, such as Strange taking possession of his dead other self. Could something as simple as getting a tattoo or changing your hair color be going against the law of nature? And what are the consequences of these actions, as they are often not clear? Still, watching nature and being aware of how your actions impact the world around you is important if you want to walk a morally good life. Just don't let yourself get caught up in the little details of it, or let your personal ideas of what the laws of nature are prevent the innovation of things that have the potential of doing real good in the world. Because if Strange didn't take over the body of the dead Strange, then multiple worlds would have been destroyed. 5. Self. In my opinion, this is one of the most dangerous things to base your morality on because it can easily disguise itself as any of the other four while actually being something that causes harm. When focusing on the self, it's easy to discard both human and nature-based rules. It's easy to let your personal love for someone or something blind you to the needs and desires of those people you love. You might think you're protecting someone else, but in reality, you're only protecting yourself from accepting something that hurts. Throughout the movie, we watch as Strange struggles to balance the other four morality indicators in an attempt to do the right thing. Meanwhile, Wanda is only acting in her self-interest, and we watch her do unquestionably immoral things. Based on these morals, we can actually understand why we view Strange's actions as right and Wanda's as wrong. Wanda's dream walking is so she can kidnap and steal the powers of a girl. Strange's dream walk has no effect on the person he does it to, because that person is dead, and is to save the said girl and the multiverse from Wanda. Wanda's desire for getting her children back involves her harming another version of herself and kidnapping the boys. She is ruining the lives of others because she can't accept the consequences of her actions within her own world. In the end, this movie shows morality comes down to motivation. What is driving the actions you are committing? Is it to protect and love others, to follow the rules set by man and or nature, or is it for your own gain and happiness with no regard to that of others? There's a ton of gray within that, and this movie is an amazing example of that. But at the end of the day, you are going to be remembered more for your motivations than for your actions. And what is seen as wrong for one person to do might be seen as right for someone else because of the morals they stand by and the core reasoning for their actions. You may have heard the expression, actions speak louder than words, but this movie shows us that a person's motivation is the entire story.